Yes, it is. I am starting off November with some new stuff. I am considering myself, my expertise that I have, respectfully knowing that indeed I love to read the cards and the cards speak to me clearly about what's going on with people. And then I can't even understand why. The cards do what they do, but I'm thrilled always to be sharing with that, with the stories that come through me. So far, I've been doing just the itty bitty readings, loving them, 15 seconds. It's amazing how much you can get out of the cards in 15 seconds. But I am being challenged to get out there in a bigger way. And so there's no time like the present to jump right in and do live readings for people, because that's really all I want to do, is let the cards tell the stories. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm calling these a pick a sign readings because I have all of my stones in my bag. I'm going to draw 3 stones. I'm going to do 3 signs today. And then I will come back and do more signs at a different time. Today is a test flight. Let's see how this works. So let me just take our bag. Let's see who will come first. And we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius is stepping up to bat here. Welcome, Sagittarius. Ooh, you shook up this place, Sag. Earthquake. What's happening when it comes to Sagittarius and love in the month of November? It seems like things are being shaken. You may have had some changes in friendships right now, abrupt changes, not just in your love life, but in your friendships. Sometimes little mini earthquakes happen where people come and go from your life in strange and mysterious ways. And I don't know who that's for, but somebody out there has been having a hard time letting go of a certain relationship. So let's just see what the cards have for us. Queen of Cups. The High Priestess. Yes. Yeah. It does. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Yes. So Sagittarius, it does look to me, let me just turn this a tiny bit here. It looks to me like you have been, you've been desiring to check more deeply in with your intuition. You are, this particular deck, I really like the High Priestess card because I want you to look carefully at her eyes. This looks like somebody who doesn't get any sleep because they have to be on guard constantly. But what we're not realizing is that the power of the intuition, our inner being, is what's connected to the divine. And the divine doesn't sleep. So you do have a part of yourself that is always on alert. Now, it shouldn't be interfering with your sleep. So I'm sensing that, you know, the Queen of Cups, one of the fatal flaws of the Queen of Cups is that they take care of everybody else before they take care of themselves. And because of that, it's easy to fall into fatigue and a little bit of self-pity. Don't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody either. Because, Sag, you are such a fiery sign. But that very fire can burn you yourself if you're not careful. So it seems to me here that you're caught between a rock and a hard place. There is someone in your life who looks like they are worth the investment of your time and your energy to connect with. But it's been lopsided. It's like, you know, a seesaw or a teeter-totter that people play, the children play on the park, but it's no fun if you're stuck up in the air and you can't get down. So it looks to me like this has been out of balance. Your intuition has been calling you into a deep place of considering what it is that you want. And a part of you wants to be a hermit. A part of you wants to just stop and figure things out. So it looks like for the first part of November that it would be really good for you to give yourself some of that hermit time, to be able to stop the momentum and just consider, is this something you want to go forward with or not? It does look like there's some potential here. However, it also looks as if I just feel this fatigue. And I also sense that there's some clinging going on in one of your situations. Just sensing some clinging energy. So I'm going to draw you. Do I think this is bad news? Of course not, because Abraham Hicks teaches that the only reason we want to manifest anything is because we think we're going to be happier when we have it. And so if your level of pleasure is not where you want it to be in your current relationships, professional, friends, or lovers, only you can change that. Okay, so let's take a look at what the romance angels have to say. Okay. This really is great advice for you, Sag. There's a part of you that's feeling detached and unknown. And that can be the easy complaint. They really don't know me. That's true, but do you know yourself? If you're compromising too much, then chances are there's a part of you knocking on the inner door for an introduction. Also, something going on right now is reminding you of one of your exes, okay? So the thing that's reminding you right now, some stuff that's going on, is similar to what you've gone through before. So I suggest that you write a list of all of the exes, all of your significant breakups, rank them 1 to 10 in terms of how much of a pain in the ass that person was. And then just do some work. You write a letter to that person that you don't want to send. You can then burn the letter or shred it, but make some sort of symbolic gesture to releasing this person in your past, someone who did cause a bit of an earthquake in your love life. So there we have a message for Sagittarius. And we're going to go forward now. I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, and we have Pisces. Okay, Pisces. When it comes to love, what's been going on with you, Pisces? What's been going on for Pisces? So Pisces, the first thing that I'm picking up is that something has got you going in circles. I'm sensing like pacing. So what I'm seeing in my mind is a goldfish in a bowl pacing, which would mean going in circles. So there's some kind of a never-ending circle, like a hamster wheel. Okay, so what that makes me think about is when you find yourself being attracting the same kind of person. Okay, Pisces, so you may be experiencing a lot of new people coming in, but they're all the same. You know, they're all rude, or they start off looking great, but then all of a sudden they're not so great. So something is like a vicious cycle, that's the word, that's going on with you in love. Let's see what the cards have to tell you. Thank you, angels, for giving us whatever you have for Pisces. Queen of Cups, okay. So that Queen came out, the same position for Sag. And then we have the Six of Cups. And we have the High Priestess again. It's both two repeating cards. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. Twink. And turn them around like this. Okay, let's take a look here. Pisces. Well, okay, so what I'm seeing here, and this read may be for a man or a male, if you identify with the masculine, that there's somebody trapped between two very strong women, two very strong female energies here. This is, okay, so this is the vicious cycle that I am sensing. So there's some kind of imbalance in the divine feminine and the divine masculine here. If you are watching this and you're not a Pisces, you might have a Pisces friend, or a Pisces may be interested in you. But what I'm finding in a lot of the work that I'm doing right now is there is a definite imbalance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. There's a lot of distortion, a lot of patriarchy, and the things in the world right now are way out of balance. But when it comes to our personal life, the things that we need to do to pull ourselves into balance quite often are anchored in our growing up years, in our childhood years, that there's something in the past, some viewpoint or perspective on masculine roles and feminine roles, that there's just confusion. All right, so because of too strong feminine, it's like tug of war, that something around your situation could have you in a real tug of war here. You might be someone who is in a relationship, and maybe your partner and your partner's mother are both pulling you. Your own mother and a family member could be pulling you into a different situation with your current relationships. This may be not true for everyone, but this feeling of trying to please more than one person is very draining and can be really devastating for your relationships. So I feel myself cringing and becoming smaller. Even my breath gets a little shallow. So it does feel like somebody watching this really needs to believe in themselves. So let's take a peek at this Queen of Cups card. The Queen of Cups shows surrender. Look at her hands, open, and look at all the energy that's cycling around her. Her eyes are closed. Her cup is before her. This is a beautiful picture of divine love, receptivity. The easiest way to access this energy is to sit quietly, straight up in a chair, and just close your eyes. That's it. Not many of us give ourselves the chance to just close your eyes when you're sitting up straight, because you normally do it when you're laying down. But this alone, just closing your eyes, sitting up, and taking a couple of breaths will connect you to your inner being. And that's where all your answers are. The High Priestess is the signal to you that you really need to get into your intuition. Only you know what your personal truth is and how much compromising you want to do when it comes to love, Pisces. You are misunderstood. When you try to stand up for yourself, people may even think you're acting like a child. But if you don't address the things that are confusing you, even from childhood, you'll just keep drawing all the wrong kinds of relationships. I was talking to a Pisces just yesterday who is so careful, lots of heartbreak in the past. And he said to me, I'm more careful now than I ever have been. And I said, well, how's it working for you? And he said, not so good. I'm single and I want to be with someone. I want to be somebody's hero. I want to be a partner to someone who can value me. And so we talked, and the thing in his case is that in order to survive, he has cut himself off emotionally. So intellectually, he's got it going on, but emotionally, he's cut off. And so that's the energy I'm sensing here for you. There's a part of you that's cut off. I believe it is connected to some kind of disappointment when you were a kid. Okay, so what to do about it? Once again, it's a good idea to just do a little bit of an audit and refresh in your mind. We'll take the masculine energy, or excuse me, taking the feminine energy from teachers, family, and friends, and romantic connections. Write them down on a list and just see if you have any cringe, anything that makes you uneasy when you look at the females that have been part of your life. Sometimes going to Al-Anon or talking to a friend or even having a session or two with a counselor can really help if you find yourself disappointed in love time and time and time again. This is like a fork in the road. It's like, what do you really want? Your intellect has been strong in guiding you, but if you're lonely, it's not quite enough, okay? So let's grab the romance angels and see what they have to say. This is like a recipe. A little surrender, a little meditation, a tiny bit of journaling, and some real soul searching can put you right back on the track. Okay, so let's take a look at our romance advice. Okay, excellent. Loving yourself first. That's what I feel is the best piece of advice that you can have right now. It is self-love. It's not selfish to take care of yourself first. So what is it in you that is feeling doubtful about your future in love? Can you address that? Can you grow yourself up? There's a YouTube for everything. You can just hop on YouTube and say, what are 3 things I can do to love myself first? And believe me, you'll pop up with an idea. And then finances and career. Right now, because you're so distracted about love, you may find your creativity and your productivity is affected also. This happens sometimes when you just get too daydreamy about what could be possible for you rather than sticking with what it is you can do right now. Remember, you always want to find the next logical step as you're going forward. And in this day and age, keeping an eye on the bottom line and paying attention to your finances and your creativity can be a great distraction while you are in the waiting room for your next big love. So there you have it, Pisces. Thank you for tuning in. This is the very first time I'm doing this pick a sign reading. And we have one more. Libra, my friends, Libra. Okay, so Libra, let's see as I'm shuffling, what is it that I'm sensing? Oh, Libra. All right, well, if you are Libra and you are tuned in, the very first thing I'm getting is that there's been an injustice. And it's happened to you a lot, Libra. I think your sensitivity to what's fair has caused you some dilemmas through your life. I think you've been misunderstood. I think sometimes people think you're stronger than you think you are. In fact, I think that's kind of a theme. And people say, I don't know how you did that, or, I don't know how you've been able to overcome all of that. And you think to yourself, gosh, I don't, it wasn't a big deal for me. So I think that part of the issues for you, Libra, are not being able to recognize your own strengths and giftedness. So let's take a look and see what the cards have to say. Ooh, the Lovers showing up. Good for you. And Ace of Pentacles. Nice. And the Eight of Swords. This is what I was saying. The thing about injustice in the past has had some impact. And then on the bottom of the deck, the Three of Cups. Okay, let's see here. Well, so what I see here for the Libra that is watching this, the energy around you right now is very ready for new love, or ready to dive deeply into the person that you're interested in right now. There's no doubt that you have spent time right in the last maybe year of really becoming the best version of you. That as you have gone forward and reached to understand yourself, to detach yourself from some old relationships that didn't serve you anymore. There was such great differences between you and past love that a great part of you was just completely disappointed in what love brought. And it ended up with just you being tied up in knots. And this reminded me of the Pisces that I had spoken to earlier, where I said, no, I know that the best way for me to stay okay is to guard myself. So he's holding an image of himself as a victim. And so the only way he can't go forward, he's not dating. There's nothing that's drawing him out of this self-proclaimed prison that if you're careful enough, you can protect yourself from heartbreak. And that's just not going to work. And you have worked very hard, Libra, to come to grips with that when it comes to justice and love, there isn't any justice in love. You have been disappointed by people who were not real with you, people that lied to you. But I would say, this may not resonate with everyone, but we all lie at times. We all lie to ourselves when we're with someone past the expiration point. So you're with someone past the expiration point, and you know that that lie has kept you in a relationship much longer than you would have ever been in if you told yourself the truth, right? So this Ace of Pentacles is that sign that you are ready, that you have done the best you can to put those habits behind you. You want to tell yourself the truth. You want to see clearly if what you're building is sustainable. So look at how the roots are already growing before the seed is even planted. Ace of Pentacles is a sign of an exciting project, building a relationship or building something in your material surroundings, okay? The Lovers does signify that your desire is to have that deep love. It's part of what's being planted right now. What's being planted for you right now is this deep love that you've wanted forever. You not only want to have the romance and sexuality and all of that, but you also want to have deep companionship. Now, one of the things, Libra, that has maybe tripped you up in the past is that when you look at friendships and your true love relationship, that there is room for more than one person in your life as you go forward. Your soulmate cannot fulfill all of your needs. No one can. So figuring out a way to allow friendships and family, to allow those allegiances to be strong, as well as your soulmate connection. A cord of three, a rope with three cords is not easily broken. So your family relationships, your friendship relationships, and your lover relationship need to all be strong in order for you to feel your God-given well-being, your sense of everything is good with my life right now. Why do I say this? Because with the Eight of Swords, it shows that you tend to overanalyze, that you're tending to overthink things. I have a problem overanalyzing and overthinking things. That's why I have a heart for you in this situation. But if you look at her, she's not bound. She's free, but it's the way she's thinking about her situation that's holding her back. This is showing me that going forward, there's habits that you had from the past where people wouldn't treat you well and you turned your back on them. You gave them too many chances. You were taken advantage of. Whatever is your personal story, you have put that behind you. You are starting fresh, but in your mind is still a circulating mantra of your old thoughts and the old way of thinking. Okay, so the advice for you is to catch yourself when you're feeling fearful or doubtful about new love, or if you're feeling anger or resentment towards any exes. If those things come up, all you need to do, it's very simple, I know, is to just let it go. That may sound easy. It is really, because you can. There's a thing called the Sedona method. I read about it many years ago. And the guy who invented it said, pick up that pencil. Okay, hold that pencil. And you just hold it out to your side. Can you drop that pencil? You say, yeah, sure I can. Show me, he said. So the person dropped the pencil. They let go of it. Gravity pulled it to the floor, right? He said, you can actually drop your thoughts about anything in the same way that our brains, our minds have the ability to drop it. Now, sometimes if you're really annoyed at someone, it's hard to drop that thought. I agree, but here's something you can do. You can go to your kitchen sink, run your wrists under cold water for a second. That alone will give you a distraction, and then drop it. Say to yourself, even though it's hard, I'm going to drop it right now. Even though I don't really want to let go of this, I choose to let go of it. Because if you don't let go of thoughts that are holding you tight to your old life when it comes to love, nobody's going to do it for you, okay? So practice your letting it go. What I'm doing personally is the musical Frozen. YouTube has a gazillion Let It Go parodies and people singing it. So I am really trying to release myself from my own fears and doubts when it comes to letting people in by using that song, Let It Go. And so I hope you'll join me with that. So that is all I'm going to draw today. My 3 signs, we drew Sagittarius and Pisces and Libra. Thank you so much for tuning in, for just watching as I play with the cards, and with being on a live video, because it's the first one. You got to jump in, and so I'm jumping in. And if there's something you would like to hear, if you want to, any ideas you have or questions about love and relationships, do add them in the comments below, and I will see about doing a reading that would answer questions that you have personally. If you'd like to have a personal reading, I would love to read the cards for you. You can email me at tarnishedangeltarot@gmail.com, and I will get right back to you. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for giving love a second, third, fourth, or fifth try. It's worth it.